Have you ever been stuck at a red light and the car next to you costs more than your entire yearly salary? I'm serious. You're sitting there in your car, and beside you is this brand new SUV, panoramic roof, massive screen, leather seats, everything shining. And for a second, you start questioning your life. Like, how? How are people affording this? Because here's the crazy part. The person driving it probably makes around the same money as you. They're not a celebrity, not a crypto millionaire, not some secret business tycoon. So what's actually going on? Today I want to break this down properly. Not to judge anyone, not to shame anyone, but to protect you. Because this trap is way more common than you think. And stay with me, because toward the end, I'm going to show you the math most people never calculate, and what to do instead if you actually want to build wealth. My name is Palak, and on this channel we talk about money in a real way, the way it actually works in real life. So if you care about getting ahead without playing yourself, subscribe. You'll like what we're building here. Now let's talk numbers. The average new car payment today is over $700 a month. Trucks and SUVs, $900, $1,100, sometimes even $1,300. And not for 3 years, for 6, 7, even 8 years. That's not a small expense. That's a lifestyle commitment. So how are people doing it? The first trick is simple. They don't focus on the price. They focus on the monthly payment. No one walks into a dealership saying, "Can I afford a $65,000 car?" They say, "Can I manage $800 a month?" And once you say that number out loud, the game changes. Because if the payment looks too high, they don't lower the car price. They stretch the loan. 4 years becomes 6. 6 becomes 7. And suddenly the payment feels manageable. But here's what nobody thinks about in that moment. You didn't reduce the cost. You delayed the pain. You just agreed to pay for this car for almost a decade. And by year 5, it won't even feel new anymore. Now let's go deeper. Let's say after 3 years you want something newer, something better, but you still owe more than the car is worth. So what happens? They roll that leftover amount into your next loan. That's called negative equity. And now you're financing your old car inside your new car. That's how people upgrade every few years without ever actually owning anything. It feels like progress. But financially, it's quicksand. The more you move, the deeper you sink. Now here's the uncomfortable part. Cars aren't just transportation anymore. They're identity. That truck says you're successful. That SUV says you're established. That luxury badge says you've made it. And once a purchase becomes emotional, logic leaves the room. You're not buying horsepower, you're buying validation. And the industry knows this. That's why ads don't show interest rates. They show mountains, power, confidence, respect. You're not sold a vehicle. You're sold a version of yourself. And when that happens, $900 a month doesn't feel irresponsible. It feels deserved. Now here's where most people stop the conversation. They just say, "Don't buy expensive cars." But that's not helpful. So let's fix this properly. First, understand something simple. Cars are tools. That's it. They get you from point A to point B. They are not investments. They are not assets. They are depreciating machines. And tools should serve your life, not control it. If your car payment, insurance, and fuel combined are eating 20% or more of your take-home income, you're not flexing. You're stretching. And stretching your money for status is how wealth quietly dies. Here's the smarter move. Buy a car that's 2 to 4 years old. Let someone else take the biggest depreciation hit. You get almost the same experience for dramatically less financial damage. And here's where it gets powerful. Let's say instead of paying $900 a month, you pay $450, and you invest the other $450 every month at an average 8% return. In 7 years, that's over $50,000 invested. Not spent, invested. That's the difference between looking rich and becoming rich. And I'm not saying don't ever upgrade. I'm saying upgrade after your assets do, when your investments start generating income. When your net worth is rising, then reward yourself. Most people buy the reward before building the foundation, and then they spend 7 years paying for that mistake. So next time you're at a red light and that $80,000 SUV pulls up beside you, don't feel behind. You don't know the EMI, you don't know the stress, you don't know the credit card balance. Wealth isn't visible in traffic, it's visible in net worth statements. And if this made you rethink even one decision, that's a win. On Palak Invests, we're not chasing appearances, we're building leverage. If you want to make money decisions that future you will thank you for, subscribe. Because the biggest flex isn't a car, it's financial peace. And that never goes out of style.